Hi Harstem, I want to show you my game against Broken Race. I destroyed his hatchery with my proxy racks, was harassing and doing timing attacks pretty much all game. And he still won, because he defended with Baneling Printer and tacked up to Imba Ultras. So while he can just aim move his army, I need to micro as a pro gamer, like me. Isn't this unfair? Thank you, Alpha Blomman. PS, I know that I should build Ghost against Ultras, but I'm not Maru to control them. Alright, Alpha Blomman, 4.4k Terran player, I think from America, Masters. Starts with a proxy 3 racks, sends all of his workers a little bit too early, and plays his barracks on 40. Now, I'm not the proxy racks master, but this I haven't really seen before. The 14, 14, 14. I guess this is an extremely aggressive version of the 3 racks where you actually need to kill workers as well, because you see only is gonna have 14 workers, which means he's actually gonna have a pretty bad time if he doesn't kill drones on top of the hatchery. I think like you can't just. I don't think you can cut this many SCVs and just be content with killing a hatchery. But I could be wrong. It's possible. I've been wrong many times before. I'm gonna be wrong again, and that is just the way it is. Bidabim, bidabim, bim. Some things will never change. So we see Pool first from Sanity. He's also gonna get a Roach Warrant, so probably already had this planned as he didn't really manage to scout anything. It's a pretty old build order by Sanity, but I can live with it. I dig it, and I kind of like it against this, honestly. If he would have gotten some links early on, like 2 or 3 pairs of links, this actually would be a free win for him. Now, funnily enough, even though he's rushing the Roach Warrant, it's actually not that great for him. You might think, hey, this is great, he's gonna get Roach against Marines, but he's actually gonna get the Roaches a little bit too late. So, bunkers will be up already, and hatchery will most likely fall, especially because he only has a single gas. So he's not going to be able to pump out 3 Ravagers immediately, I think. It's just going to be like 2 Ravagers. Actually, he's getting a lot of gas fast. Maybe he will be able to pump out 3 Ravagers immediately, but I think the hatchery might be down already at that point. This is a really bad call. He should not be putting drones. But I'm here to criticize the other guy, so let's stick to that, shall we? So we have continuous marine production, or almost continuous marine production. No SCV production. Okay, it starts now as well, so gonna go up to slightly higher worker count. And at this point, to me, it's clear that Alpha Blomman is gonna be able to kill this hatchery, right? So at this point, what he should be doing is he should start probably gases and just have continuous SCV production. That's going to be the 2 main concerns for him here, because right now, at this point, 3:04 minutes, the game is pretty much done. Like for the initial phase. You know, the initial phase is done. It's like, okay. A single Val hit 2 Marines and SCV. I didn't even know that was possible. I bet Alpha Blomman had to try real hard in like the unit test map to make that work. What is the ultimate way for me to get as much damage as possible? This is like one of those games. Like a carnival where you every game is a prize, you know. Like sometimes the prize is pretty crap. You get like a little Barbie doll, or you get a stupid plushie, but at least you get something. Every single time this guy throws a bile, my mind Alpha Blomman just stands underneath it. So he actually stopped producing workers altogether. He lost 2 workers last time I checked. He's mining 8 guys in the minerals. And he has 5 on gas. I'm glad that he has units on gas, but he should be like 21, 22 SCVs at this point, even with losing the workers. So he forgot to build like 6, 7 workers, I think. What's he gonna get? Command center should be getting a factory ASAP, because you know there's gonna be a counter attack, right? So you either want to be getting a Banshee out or a quick Cyclone, something like this. To me, and probably many of you guys, this is really, really obvious that you are gonna need some type of attack. He builds the factory while he already has 100 gas extra, so he could have literally built it like 20-25 seconds ago. Orbital does finish up. On top of that, he also sees that, I mean, there's a lot of Ravagers, so if I was him, knowing I'd probably build a bunker here or a bit further back. Just somewhere, just get a bunker to make sure that you can actually defend your ramp. If, well, these Ravagers eventually are gonna break through. So at that point you're gonna most likely need a bunker. It's a tech lab? Okay. I wonder what he's gonna get with this. Oh, maybe he wants to swap the two. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Should sell this bunker and run back home with the Marines at this point, most likely. I mean, there's not a lot to win here anymore for my man Alpha Blomman. Oh, he's gonna actually get another Ravager. That's nice for him. But from here on out, it's actually better to fight at this point, you know? Maybe you would be able to get one or do some damage to them. It's not like you running away is gonna delay him very much, like... It's actually just gonna leave them alone. Anyway, so right now we're at 22 workers. That's pretty much where we should have been last, like a minute ago. So we have a tank straight coming up. I like that as well. Bunker is a little bit late, but so far, honestly, except for getting the SCV production, the game's still looking pretty tight here for Alpha Blomman, right? He's up 8 workers. He has a second base already. His opponent does not. He's scouting with a barracks. He sees absolutely everything. Sees drones pop, so he's knows, okay. Well, I know what this is now. See what he's gonna use this this thing for. He's still only mining with two SCVs in gas. This is a pushback as well. Yeah, this honestly looks quite good for Alpha Blomman. Not really producing any SCVs anymore though, for some reason. Oh, there we go. Starts at least one up again. Yeah, I like it. Liberator comes out now. You can use this Liberator for two things, either to harass the opponent, because there's only going to be like 1 or 2 queens, or you can use it to try and push this guy away. But honestly, I think once you have 2 tanks, you can just kind of leapfrog your tanks forward, and you should be absolutely fine, right? Like, you can probably put one over here, and then move down with your Marines or something like that. Like, if there's one on the edge over here, you can put one over here as well. You should be completely fine. Seems to be exactly what Alpha Blomman is going to be doing, and I like that. I think it's actually good moves. Trying to touch some bile shots. Hello? Can you see this one up, Chief? There we go. And I think Alpha Blomman so far, except for a few small errors like the slow transition, yeah, he's actually playing a pretty decent game. He's gonna get a 3rd CC as well. He's gonna get a nice little supply block. All of that is kind of okay. The most important thing for him here is that if he gets this base up, he just starts mining, and then he does some counter pressure, right? Like he has a pretty nice lead at the moment. In units at least, so he should be using that real quick. So I don't like this Liberator too much. I think the first one was fine for harassment if he would have used it, but instead he's just idling over here. This is when the shift click can come in handy sometimes. You can just shift click things up. It's gonna do some damage, and he still has a way better army, right? I would love to see a couple of medevacs being produced now for the next move up. Now at this point, if you're Alpha Blomman, you have 3 tanks and 15 Marines. Stim is about to be done. You probably just want to move across the map and kill your opponent, or at least gonna be forcing a lot of units. Like the only thing you can really build is roaches and links. And you have Marines and tanks, so generally that's a good fight for you, especially if there's no upgrades. For Alpha Blomman also has no upgrades. Right now we have 74 supply against 46. Triple CC against, well, a 3rd hatch that's later. There's still some harass going on. I mean, this guy's been absolutely godly. Little damage. It's gonna die to a spore. Haps to the best though. You know, I'm not gonna cherry pick like that. So we see pretty big lack of SCV production here. I'm not a fan of this. Is he aware of the Spire? Yes, he's seen the Spire. We're seeing an eBay come up. No double eBay, which confuses me. Definitely should be double eBay. 1 SCV, 2, 3 SCVs in production. There we go. This is what we want. Probably want to start getting some turrets out as well. Throw in a couple of mules. Yeah, exactly. And get go up to 5 barracks at this point. That's going to be the main concern here for Alpha Blomman, who, by the way, said he was harassing constantly. I'm not sure if that one Liberator counts as constant harass. And the timing push, I really haven't seen a timing push from him yet. But we're gonna keep that in mind, you know, the timing push and the constant harass, as my man Alpha Blomman said. Should really be fine. He's still not building workers. I mean, he's still really far ahead, but A lot of the time, what happens in lower level games is that people get ahead in one thing and then they completely stop doing the others. It's a bit like, and then they think they deserve the win. It's a bit similar in relationships, you know, where very often it's guys who do this. They'll buy flowers like once or twice at the start of the relationship, and then whenever the girl goes like, "Ah man, you never do anything spontaneous for me," the guy's like, "Ah, you remember in early 2012 in March, I bought roses for you, a bouquet of flowers." And he was like, "Yeah, it's like 10 years ago, dude. That doesn't count anymore. You need to keep going." And that's kind of what my man Alpha Blomman is doing here. He's bought roses once this game, and his girlfriend has given birth to 7 kids since then. They haven't gone out to eat once together. He hasn't even told her that he loves her. That's what Alpha Blomman is doing, and now he's confused why his relationship is falling apart. Well, my friend, it's time to buy some roses. Tell your girlfriend you love her. Very important, Alpha Blomman. Also in StarCraft, of course. You need to keep going, man. You can't just trust on one thing to do. Like, he's still ahead, but you need to continuously be making moves. Like, you can't just stop building SCVs for 5 minutes and then hope that you're still ahead. No, that's not how it works. One good move in a game isn't gonna win you most of the time, unless it's a very good all-in. That's something you have to realize, Alpha. That's something you have to realize. I've been loving the timing attacks we've been seeing from Alpha Blomman as well, by the way. This is the classic lose 3 tanks to 7 Ultralisks. It's a good timing. It's really one of the classics. I once bought a book in 2012 called Classic Timings in StarCraft 2, and losing 3 tanks to 8 Mutas at the 11-minute mark is one of the first chapters there. So I'm glad to see Alpha Blomman knows his classic literature when it comes to StarCraft. Here comes some of that constant harass once again. So we had 1 Liberator at 8 minutes, now we have 1 Liberator at the 11-minute mark. He's really pushing the boundaries of what is humanly possible when it comes to multitasking, being aggressive in the game. I'm very, very impressed by him, honestly. Alpha Blomman is showing me things that I didn't know were possible. So there's like 11 Mutas out at this point. Now, something that's nice to do against Mutas is to have a dedicated force to just deal with the Mutas. And you put them in the least defended base, usually the main base. You put like 8 Marines and a medevac here. And 8 Marines... okay. 8 Marines and a medevac are going to be able to deal with like literally 50 Mutas. Like, you will die if there's 50 Mutas, but you're going to kill like 7 or so. This is a classic. Pretending like you can't see if you're shooting. Nice. Take a look at unit loss. Unit loss is pretty even. We actually, for some reason, have sanity kind of coming back into the game. 52 workers. Actually continues upgrading. Alpha Blomman has a pretty decent army size, but his upgrades are very slow. I only played single eBay. There's no armory on the way, no second eBay. This upgrade is about to finish up. Here come the 8 Mutas. These guys have been keeping Alpha Blomman at home, right? Like, Alpha Blomman really hasn't been doing anything except for that 1 Liberator. Turret goes down. Another supply block. Let's take a look at this reaction time. Hello, maybe want to send a medevac to deal with these Mutas? No. Send in the SCVs. They might be able to repair these Ultralisks out of the game. A sacrifice to the Zerg gods, so to say. It's absolutely brilliant, my friends. This never worked for anyone in history, has it? I know that timing push. And this timing push is hitting harder than some I've seen in my time. Okay. Mines in the back. Not going to be participating in the fight until it's over, most likely. Oh, decent mine hit. It actually was a nice couple of mine hits, but... yeah, I feel like the micro might have been a little lacking there. There was no real tank support either. I'm not the biggest fan. All of a sudden, Alpha Blomman actually is behind. I have no clue how this happened. This is the switcheroo of a lifetime. Unit lost, he's far down. Oh, yeah, a bunch of units in the main. He's making sure right now that at least the main is protected. Alpha Blomman really is good at tunnel vision. He's the king of tunnel vision, you know. Alright, the problem last time was in the main base, so if he comes to the main base this time around, I think I'm gonna be fine. However, the natural, oh, yes, I'm in the natural. And the third, his tank is a little exposed, but he has some units everywhere. Let's see how my man Alpha Blondman is gonna deal with it. Okay, armory gets stopped, which is annoying because the upgrades are gonna get really, really important this game. Once 2-2 finishes, Ultralisk cavern on the way, you know, then you know it's important to get the upgrades. Like big Ling Bane run by. So this is the reason why usually you leave the main army at the third base, and you have the small squad to defend the main base. Basically, the ground units can just teleport into the main base, but the mutas can bounce. So the only threat to the main base is the Mutalisk. Lynx can't be a threat there, so you don't need to have Marauders and 6 medevacs in the main base. That is not extremely useful, usually. Basically, what Alpha Blondman just did, imagine if you have a house and you have a small tool shed next to the house. And in the tool shed, there is a hammer and there is... what more than a tool shed? Nails. A hammer and nails. It's a terrible tool shed. And what Alpha Blondman does is he defends the tool shed with the newest security system. The Marines, the Marauders, the Mines. And then he has this massive villa in which he has golden bars, because Alpha Blondman is a wealthy man. I mean, he's doing timing attacks the entire game, constant harassment. This guy has to be rich. But the house with the golden bars, you know, he only has a cat to defend it. Then his golden bars get dropped and he goes, oh, how is that even possible? How is that even possible, Alpha Blondman? Especially with the constant pressure you're putting your opponent under. That does sound a little bit imbalanced, doesn't it? I'm feeling it as well, Alpha Blondman. 36 workers, by the way. He's been doing a good job not producing those for a while now. He's lost 24, but so has his opponent. Did he scout that there's a hive? No. He really has scouted nothing. He also... oh, this armory. Can we get a little timer of when this armory gets stopped? Because I can't quite remember. I want to say it was somewhere around 14 minutes, but that's a good timing. Ooh, solid move command into the opponent's army. Always gets me going a little bit, at least. Did you slow down the replay? Nice one, Kev. This Zerg is actually controlling his units very, very well. I like that. Oh, yeah. Detonates all the mines. Goes in. Oh. And the Banelings connect. Alright. There's an Ultra as well. Cleanup duty. Clean up an idle too. As well, very unfortunate. And you might be thinking, how does the Zerg survive under the constant aggression? I mean, we've seen a Liberator at the 8-minute mark, a Liberator at the 11-minute mark. I think we saw a push-up with like 12 Marines and 3 Mines and a Marauder at like 12 or 13 minutes, and now another attack at 16 minutes? Like, how does this Zerg even manage to get up a drone count this high when there's... like, this Zerg only has like 4 minutes to take a breather in between attacks and harassment. How is it possible that he managed to push this out? That's what Alpha Blondman is thinking right now. Armory, oh, finally being rebuilt. This guy's a hero. I can't wait to see the eBay start working immediately, because that's definitely what's going to happen. Actually losing a planetary to Lynx. Nice. Man, these Mutaliks have been absolute heroes. I guess he rebuilt them a couple of times there. 18 Mutas have died. Yeah, they've been rebuilt a couple of times. Oh, there's another counter. Oh, this is a base trade scenario right now. What are we seeing here, Alpha Blondman? Not ready for the base trade. But he does have some nice units on the other side of the map. Sadly, these units are literal cavemen fighting with sticks. While the other guys are... you know, right now they have swords and they're actually researching the gun technology. You see 3-3 chitinous plating. My man still has 1-1. Armory finished, finally, at the 18-minute mark. Single eBay not researching though. And here I take another great position and my mine shot's absolutely destroying, but I have 1 Ultra. Sure, the Ultra might have 5 better upgrades than me and My army consists of pure marines, not even a single marauder, but I should be allowed to win. I killed this hatchery with my 3 racks. Did you ever laugh so hard? It's almost a sneeze. Like, this was... This is so sad. This is the saddest story. 2800 gas, so... If he was a Protoss player, he could warp in a lot of high tempo. I actually still have a chance in this game. But because he's Terran, I'm not too sure about it. My man's sanity just keeps expanding. Alright, I think I can take a 6th base. Alpha Blomon trying to resecure his 3rd. Meanwhile, 24 workers. Oh no. 2 more marines. Yeah. Let's keep them coming. You don't actually need Ghost if there's 6 Ultras. I mean, there's no creep though. There's nothing to keep this army in place. If you just get a lot of Marauders, it can be okay. You don't need to micro back. I mean, it just doesn't have enough stuff. It's 3-3. Yeah, how can I lose this? Zerg is really broken. How does he lose this? So if we go over the game in Alpha Blomon set, you 3 racks, perfect execution, kills the natural. Sure, he forgets to produce SCVs for a bit. Sure, the gases are a bit late. Sure, his transition isn't great. But I mean, hello, I killed the natural. Afterwards, insane harass with the Liberator. Actually gets a good amount of kills. Then another Liberator shows up, only 3 minutes later. While during this time, by the way, Alpha Blomon completely decided to give up on SCV production, or infrastructure in general. He loses like 3 tanks and 7 marines to 6 mutas, which I didn't even know was possible, but he managed to do it. Then the constant aggression he throws at his opponent is, in Alpha Blomon's head, absolutely insane, but in reality, he got cleaned up pretty easily. The one push that he did at like the 12-minute mark. What more was there really? Well, he just constantly forgets to build SCVs. There was no upgrades. He just keeps forgets to buy his wife roses, guys. That's really the issue there. Like, he did it once and then he's like, you know what? This game is mine. I'm here to collect my MMR points. And that's not how it works, Alpha Blomon. That's not how it works. You're fighting with pure marine against an ultra army with literally 3-3 upgrades. There was Adrenal done. You didn't even know that Hive had started. The last time you saw anything of your opponent was with your 2nd Liberator. You had no map control, no map vision. There was like 7 mutas that literally killed an entire base. Well, not literally. Figuratively killed an entire base. Everything you did this game was actually awful. Like, from start to finish, there was no constant pressure. Like, you didn't harass any of the outside base. You didn't drop once. I think the worst thing you did was dealing with the mutas, though. That's the thing that got me the most. It's just seeing 7 mutas fly around while your entire army is just AFKing at your 3rd, or your entire army is AFKing in your main base, and then he attacks your 3rd base with like 12 links and a couple of banelings and just kills everything. You, my friend, are not only a bad lover, you also suck. Really, really bad. And that's a fact. Oh, I forgot to press this. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you did enjoy this fantastic episode of Is It Imba or Do I Suck? If you did like this, don't forget that I also have a 2nd channel where I post high-level StarCraft 2 cast every single day. youtube.com/HarstemCasts. Please check it out. And don't forget to smash like on this video and subscribe here as well. It helps me a lot. It really does. Please do that. Or I will come and find you. And you don't want that. I'm not as funny in real life. Bye bye.